I'm Ngọc.
My name is Hân.
Ngân.
Vy.
Hi, I'm Hằng.
We are Group A.
Welcome to the Startup Program.
Today we will discuss the topic market segment.
Let's get started.
A century ago, a local general store owner would have known on his customers personally. He would be familiar with their families, their business, where they live and how they spend their leisure time, and what they were interested in spending their hard-earned money on. This type of marketing is called one-to-one, because the business were able to think and act in the terms of individual consumer and their household. Although technology is making it easier for firms to gather information and learn what customers really want, few business can get to know on their customers on an individual basis. Moreover, it's not always necessary to know individual customers, because in many markets, there are large groups of customers that are very similar to the purchase of ketchup. In one example image, that we were able to classify every individual Canadian based on what they want when they buy ketchup, given unlimited results. We could talk to households and learn about the adult version of the consumer. We could record their business habits, conduct survey, and facilitate focus group. We might even spend time in the consumer home observing how, when, and why they use ketchup. Ultimately, the return on the investment is unlikely to justify certain in-depth market research studies simply because consumer preferences are not that unique products. Some may want a little bit sweeter, a little bit spicy product by a particular brand, and so on by a few key features of the taste, brand quality, brand name. We can create group Canadians that care about the same thing and base their buying decision on some factor, maybe phrase that most people fall into one or three camps. For example, we might have segment a surprise sensitivity and by primarily on price segment B. We call them the tester by primarily on taste, and a small section C, organic, who only buy ketchup from the organic ingredient. We could dig deeper and develop a more wide-ranging model Canadian ketchup preference.
For example, exactly how price sensitive is segmentation? What flavors really make a difference to segment B? And how much more segment C willing to pay for organic ingredient ultimately? How far we break the market up into groups with distinct preference profile depends on whether or not investment and more detailed segmentation scheme justify that cost. As it turns out, the ketchup market tends to be mostly homogeneous. The vast majority of people prefer the taste of Hatchin's 75, and that preference drives your purchasing behavior. Good market segmentation means finding potentially profile customers who prefer a particular combination of product attributes. Once a business knows what a customer wants in the product they buy, it can talk to manufacturers and wholesalers to see what products are available and how closely they match the needs of those individual segments. However, most businesses realize that having the right product, the right price is not enough. Modern consumer needs and decide to go beyond the basic product they purchase. For example, many consumers want the sense of confidence that comes with buying familiar brands. They tend to prefer to shop in a comfortable and convenient environment. Some consumers may want to patronize older businesses that reflect their personal values through initiatives such as local community involvement and environmental and social responsibility. In other words, people do not just prefer certain products, prefer an entire process of meeting their individual needs. The ability to understand those needs on a segment-by-segment basis is the foundation of successful marketing.
A marketing orientation is based on the customer-driven focus. During the past 2 decades, we have seen the rise of market segmentation in business markets. Introduced into the marketing community by the late William Smith in the 1956. A half a century later, segmentation had evolved from the academic concepts into a viable real-world learning facility. In addition, we see companies, service organizations, and even non-profit institutions have embraced the benefit of building marketing muscle. So, what is a market segment?
I suppose that the term market segment refers to people who are grouped together for marketing purposes. Market segments are part of larger market, often lumping individuals together based on one or more similar characteristics. Corporations and their marketing teams use various criteria to develop a target market for their products and services. Marketing professionals approach each segment differently, but only after they fully understand the need, the lifestyle, demographic, and personality of the target consumer.
There are 4 key types of market segmentation that you should be aware of, which include demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioral segmentation. It is important to understand that the 4 segmentation are if you want your company to garner lasting success. What are 4 key types and what do they consist of? Let's come to the explanation of 2 experts, Vy and Ngọc.
I will mention demographics and the demographics first. The demographic segmentation is focused entirely on who the customer is. However, the strengths that are played into the demographic segment depend on whether you run a B2B or B2C business. If you run a B2B company, the strengths that you would likely include in this segment intend to industry type, company size, time in position, and role within the company. On the other hand, a B2C company would include such demographic traits as age, education, gender, occupation, family status, and income.
This is a very common segmentation type that used within market research to determine what a company's main target audience is. The information is also easy to obtain. All you need to do to gain them is to pull standard data. The belief when using this type of market segmentation is that all of the customers within a demographic trait will have similar purchasing behaviors.
Could you give an example? Okay, for example, customers within the 40 to 49 age bracket may be much more likely to purchase your product when compared to customers within the 20 to 24 age bracket, which is useful to know when you are looking to create an effective and efficient marketing campaign. Next, I will talk about the demographic segmentation, which is the simplest form of market segmentation, allowing you to effectively segment groups of customers based on their locations, core features, and segments that can be used with demographic segmentation include region, continent, country, city, and postcode.
About psychographic. The psychographic market segmentation is aimed at separating the audience based on their personalities. The different traits within this segmentation includes lifestyle, attitudes, interests, and values. However, extensive research will be necessary with this form of segmentation since identifying demographics based on personality is relatively subjective. If you find that your main audience values quality and energy efficiency above all else, your marketing platform can be altered to account for these core values. Recommended that you cover at least several psychographic traits when forming your marketing approach to ensure that you don't miss a capacity that your audience might have. While this market segmentation is difficult to use, many companies believe that it can lead to high yields. When your marketing is targeted to someone's personality, it's more likely that the individuals who see this marketing will become increasingly loyal to your brand. In terms of behaviorals, the behavioral market segmentation divides your whole audience based on the previous behavior that they are exhibited with your brand. Some of the main traits within this segmentation types include product knowledge, purchase patterns, previous purchase, awareness of your business, and product rating.
To best understand how this market segment is used, an example of the business that might employ this type of segmentation is a restaurant. If a restaurant has different menus for the lunch and dinner, they could compare purchase patterns between the dinner option and the lunch ones. It's possible that items on the lunch menu would be much more popular if they were instead available on the dinner menus. The restaurant could see the data to improve their menus and realize new ones that could be more effective for its audience segment. There are factors to choose market segment: size, growth rate, profitability, economic of scale, and risk. Next, product or service improvement. By having a clear and in-depth view of the preferences and perception of target customer, business can rely on it to create new or improved products or service to meet the practical needs of customers. Last, create competitive advantage. By focus on only a small group, business can optimize their results and focus on investing and developing the more optimal products, thereby increasing their competitive advantage.
The first factor is size. The question is how big is the market segment you are going to target and will be enough for your firm to cover the cost and to give handsome profits. The next one is growth rate. The growth rate of a market segment is important, so you need to see the growth rate before you choose a market segment. For instance, if today a company targets desktop and not laptop, then they will be in trouble. The reason is that although desktop has a huge market share, the growth rate of desktop is declining rapidly. A company will be better off manufacturing both laptops and desktops. The third is profitability. There are some industries which have become so competitive that they are not profitable anymore.
The next one is economy of scale. Uber and Ola became such big brands within a matter of few years because of the economy of scale. Let's get considering some questions to identify, such as how much more can you explain? Why are you entering a very niche market segment where economy of scale will not make a huge difference? Last but not least, I mentioned risk. Financial industry have a very well bifurcated segmentation policy. Some of their financial instruments target high risk and high return type of customers, whereas other instruments target low risk and low return type of customers. So that even if the high risk customer lose, the low risk customer maintain the stability of financial company. Understand the amount of risk associated with your market segment is very important before choosing a market segment.
The role of market segmentation in business activities enterprises are: the first is accurately identify target customers. Businesses use key market segments as an important tool for businesses to identify target customers. As a result, businesses can build a promotion strategy that is closer to the potential customers they want to target, both effectively and economically. Know their customer better. Market segmentation has businesses get the most out of their marketing effort. When businesses have chosen for themselves a suitable market segment, they will try to pursue and better approach their customer base.
I'll add three crucial roles. The first on the conversion rate will go up. When you focus on only one set customer, you will have a more comprehensive view of them. This makes it easier for business to provide their customer with more useful information, thereby increasing their satisfaction and makes them perform the conversion process.
Now we will talk about barriers in define and conduct market segmentation. The first thing is about cost. Segmentation is an investment. Splitting your market into groups means you will have to do some things. For instance, marketing campaigns multiple times in different ways. This can work out to be more expensive than simply running one campaign at a single market. There isn't really any way to avoid this challenge. The cost of market segmentation is always going to be an investment, but if done right, the extra revenue you will generate from targeting the second thing is understanding that people can belong to multiple segments. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that each potential customer belongs solely in one specific segment. However, this is an oversimplification. Imagine you are selling a brand of wine. One of your segments might be wine connoisseurs who enjoy drinking at bars with friends. Another segment might be those who drink to unwind at home. The third thing is embedding the segmentation in your organization. When people try to anticipate the difficulties involved in running a segmentation, the research approach is often the first thing to come to mind. But the real challenge for many organizations is in embedding the segmentation. This is of crucial importance if the segmentation is to drive change and growth for the business.
Having said that, there are still opportunities. The first is new trend. Trends change frequently, and social media can provide real-time behavioral insight of customer. Marketers should always look out for new trends that can offer new opportunities to solve customer problems. The second is new markets. When you research for segmentation, you can easily come up with new areas of the market that you didn't consider before. This leads to opportunity lying in new products and services. To get the point here, what if we could give some examples?
I mentioned Coke. Coca-Cola stuff is product using mass market techniques. We obviously fall into undifferentiated marketing. No segmentation, but there are minor factors on which we can say that the Coke segment is product and then targets the consumer somehow. Let's move on to the next little video interview regarding to the consumer perception of Coca-Cola before going into detail more about this brand's market segment.
Excuse me, can I interview you some questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is, do you know Coca-Cola beverage brand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Second question is, in your opinion, which age segment does Coca-Cola focus on the most? A. Teenage from 12 to 18. B. Children from 4 to 12. C. Middle age from 45 to 60. D. The old from
75 to 90.
Well, my answer would be A.
Okay, thank you. Your answer is
I think it would be children from 4 to 12.
yeah.
I think the answer is A. Teenage 10 to 18.
The third question is, do you think that Coke segment different income levels by packaging?
For higher income people, it has Coke teen.
For small income people, it has more returnable glass bottle.
Yeah.
For middle income people, it has non-returnable bottle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we will discuss more about this well-known brand, Coca-Cola. The first one is geographic segmentation. About internationally, Coke segment is thought of country-wise and region-wise. It varies according to the taste and income level of the people in that country. For instance, third world countries are given low quality and taste. In terms of climatic, in Coke marketing, the main idea is to serve it cold so that they focus on hot area of the world. For example, Middle East and etc. and their sales increase in summer. The last one is locally. In Pakistan, the Coke segment is more in urban and suburban area as compared to rural areas. The second one is demographic. I mentioned age first. Coke segment does more during introducing flavor like vanilla, lime, and last but not least cherry. They focus on children from 4 to 10, so Coke especially targets younger people than older people. In terms of income, Coke segment different income level by parking. Okay, the first is for small income level people. It has more returnable glass bottle. For middle income people, it has non-returnable bottle. And for higher income people, it has Coke teen. And the last element is psychographic. On psychographic variables like the social class, lifestyle, occupation, and level of education, but naturally Coke segment everyone. To be honest, first there are also three main steps to define market segments that you can refer to. The first is conduct surveys, market research, and collect data. To identify and define market segments, a business needs to first have an overview of the entire market. This can be done through collecting data from the internet, through market analysts, friends in the industry, and so on, to conduct market research. From there, they are basis to be able to determine what is the market segment of the business, who is the target customer, what is their behavior. The second is analyze collected data to identify market segments. Based on the survey data, enterprises will conduct analysis and make judgments about the current situation of the market. They can then see a short-term and long-term future market trends. This allows them to know what segments the market has and whether the business has the capacity to respond. The third is describe the characteristics of each market segment. After identifying potential market segments, it is necessary to describe each market segment in detail to know if the characteristics of the segment are really accurate or not. Businesses can also rely on a number of standards for reference when describing the characteristics of each market segment, like the first is uniformity. Customers in the same segment must have at least one thing in common. The second is heterogeneity. Each segment needs to be different from the rest. The third is measurable. A reliable data source is required to measure market segmentation. The fourth is impressionism. The market must ensure profitability for the business. The fifth is usefulness. The business can communicate and deliver its product or service to that segment. Next is diversity, where you can develop a unique marketing mix. The last is responsiveness. Customers in this segment will respond well to separate marketing campaign.
Furthermore, the fourth step is assessing the attractiveness of market segments to the business. When determining a market segment, it is necessary to evaluate its attractiveness to the business. If the factors indicate that the segment had many advantages for business, that is the segment that they should consider targeting. The first one is competitors. In the same segment, people who also offer the same products as you will become your competition. It is necessary to identify who they are and what their strengths and weaknesses are. And besides, there are elements such as enterprise resources, segment size and profitability, growth rate of each segment, and most importantly, segment reach.
Strategies for success. A company has two basic strategies choice. The first is to segment the market, and the second is to treat the entire market as potential customer for its goods and service. This latter option means that the firms use an undifferentiated market strategies that few if any company that can benefit from this approach. In today's free market, you do not have to use electricity provided by your local power company if you choose. Recognizing the great diversity in the marketplace, it is clearly desirable to segment markets to improve market performance. By segmentation, it means the development of unique marketing strategies for the various needs of the market segment.
The first is differentiation. If a firm identifies and actively markets its products or service to two or more segments of the market based on varied customer needs, a differentiation strategy is being used. A distinction needs to be made between market and product differentiation. And the last is concentration. A concentration strategy means that the firm decides to serve one or several potential segments of the market. Under a concentrated segmentation approach, a computer dealer may direct its products and service to small businesses only, ignoring potential opportunity in the business, professional, or retailer segments.
In 343 before century, Demosthenes, a noted Athenian statesman and orator, said, "Small opportunities are often the beginning of great enterprises."
We also take advantage of niche market. Market needs are small segments that offer incremental business today and perhaps vast potential tomorrow. They allow highly specialized marketers to be big fish in the small ponds. Niche marketing is a form of concentrated target marketing.
While we often think of small firms as niches or guerrilla marketers, Traffic Logic explains that large companies can effectively use niche marketing principles and practices too. He adds that IBM, Johnson & Johnson, and Philips are by no means guerrillas. That means slow-moving giants. These global leaders all utilize unique marketing strategies in their respective worldwide business units.
Let's get started.
Well, are there any? I will mention the more breakfast and now we will talk about barriers in
refers to people who are
have similar purchasing behaviors.
cái quận
We are group A.
Wait, what? Huh? Oops.
Em cộng rơ.
I am Ngọc. Guy, I'm Ngọc.
My name is Hân.
Ngân.
Vy.
Hi, I'm Hằng.
We are Group A.
Welcome to the startup program.
Today we will discuss the topic market segment.
Let's get started.